Hello, vinyl community people, all my music loving friends. It's Mike MGK Boston, back on a bone chilling New England Friday afternoon. It's positively freezing. It's going to go below freezing Fahrenheit tonight. I don't know what that is in Celsius. My memories of the homeland in Canada, I used to think in Celsius, but now I'm in Fahrenheit, almost 20 years in here in the States. But it's bloody cold, all right? Anyway, that aside, you're not here for a weather forecast. What you are here for is a video, and I got a special one today. So the 12 plus 1 greatest hits thread just went nuts. I just couldn't believe it. I discovered so many new channels. It was way bigger than the contest I had with my wife Patty, which was a blast. But people just seemed to really like this subject, and it was an easy one, the greatest hits thread. So I thought, what the hell? Like I do when I'm out running, I think about things, and I actually thought of another one. I don't know if this will be as takeoff-ish, if you will, or popular, but here it goes. So basically, I'm going to do another, like a 12 plus 1 equals 13, your baker's dozen, whatever you want to call it. And it's basically love is in the air. It's Valentine's month, whether you're with somebody or not. You don't need to be with somebody to do this thread. It's just simply name an album with a band, may have love in their name, love in the name of the album title, or a song on the album that has the word love in it. And I'm not speaking to love songs, I get all Barbara Streisand here. It's just has to have the word love either in the album title, the band name, or a song on the album. It could be a 45, a 7-inch single. I don't care, you could show me a DVD, a cassette. The format matters not. So anyway, I'm gonna dive right into it and you'll get the idea. So this is a goth outfit in the School of Sisters of Mercy called Ghost Dance. I think I've showed another one of theirs, River of No Return EP in a previous video. This one's called The Grip of Love, and this is a 3-song, 1, 2, 3, 4. I got to learn to count. End of the week here on Burnout. 4-song EP, and again, Grip of Love featuring that track as the title track of the EP. You can see it is right there, kicking off side 1. And again, from the UK, in the same school as Andrew Eldritch and the Sisters of Mercy. If you like that, you would definitely like Ghost Dance. Let's see what's on the inside. This hasn't been out of the sleeve in 30 years. I bought this stuff all when it was released. There you can see on the inside, on some label, what's this? Carbon, some indie label from the UK. I believe distributed by Vertigo. Well, I'm not certain of that. No, I don't think so. Actually, I don't know why I thought that. But anyway, that's Ghost Dance. That's The Grip of Love. Number 1 on this love list right there. All right. Staying in the 80s and in the United Kingdom, it's the Human League, Dare. Song on this one, featuring the word love. Where is it? It's on side 1, side 2, side 2. There it is right there. And it's a song called Love Action, Believe in Love in brackets, Love Action, name of that track. Great song. This is a great album. I bought this at a record show last year. I had it originally when it came out from my high school days. And again, it's one of those I lent to somebody and get it back. And I said, hey, this is a good one. And I saw it for a good price and I grabbed it. It's in near mint condition. And on the inside here, it's just mostly headshots of the band. I forget the 2 female singers. Actually, I can't name anybody in this band anymore. Doesn't matter for the purposes of this video. Oh, Phil Oakey, he was the main guy in this band, right, on vocals and synthesizers. There they are, and then it's just the lyrics. And again, the track here, we're talking about love, and it's Love Action right there, and that's Human League. Number 2 on this love list. And I should show you, while we're talking about it, it's Valentine's Day. There's my Valentine. That's Patty. So that's when we were dating. We were in like one of those overstock stores where they sell a bunch of crap you don't need, like picture frames like this one, and I was making fun of it. And what do I know? A week later, she gave this to me for a joke, and I've always kept it. And yeah, she was my girlfriend, later to become my wife, of course, as the story goes. 20 years in, that's a story of love right there, isn't it? All right. I love Grace Jones. It's Warm Leatherette. This one, 1980. This featuring, of course, a cover of Roxy Music's Love is the Drug, right? There she is on the back, looking great. Forget the James Bond movie she was in around this period in the early 80s, but this one was a departure than her previous work because Sly Dunbar and Robbie Shakespeare got on board. Of course, Sly Dunbar on drums and Robbie Shakespeare on bass guitar. Those two originally from, well, concurrently were in Black Uhuru and still are in Black Uhuru as far as I know. I'm a big fan, and I have several Black Uhuru because I'm a big reggae fan. But they were also, the two of them, Sly and Robbie, got involved with producing a lot of other acts, including Grace Jones. And again, the track on this we're talking about with Love, it's Love is the Drug. Of course, it's, again, like I said, cover of the Roxy Music tune, and she does do it justice. She really makes it her own. Nothing fancy on the inside here, but look, there's the Island logo. And yeah, this is another one I've had for a long time. Really dig Grace Jones. Warm Leatherette, the name of that album. Here's one I've never seen before in the vinyl community. This outfit, they're a synth pop band from, I believe, Philadelphia, PA, called the Book of Love. So there's Book of Love, Love in the title of this band. Yeah, it's just kind of light, synthy, sort of alternative pop, mid-80s. I think this one came out in 1984. No, 1985. And the three women and the one dude in the band. And some of the highlights on this one, Modigliani, Lost in Your Eyes. That's a really good one. It's just really light, alternative pop rock, if you will, from the period. Very synthy, representative of the mid-80s. You can't go wrong. And it's the Book of, what's the word? Love. All right. Still in the 80s here. We're on a real flare here with the 80s, but we're going to shift it up. Don't worry. I like to keep the variety, as you know. This is the Icicle Works from the UK. This is their self-titled debut. 1984, the release on this one. And yeah, they were on Beggar's Banquet. This one actually has two songs, and they frame the album. It opens with Love is a Wonderful Color. That was a huge, huge hit in the 80s. If you don't know it, you should be looking that up. And then they round out the album with In the Cauldron of Love. A lesser hit, but still, there was a video for that one on MTV and Much Music in Canada, as I remember. And it's the Icicle Works. Really, really, really fun, great pop music. I mean, if you're a fan of the 80s, you'll dig the Icicle Works. You can see they were on Beggar's Banquet. And yeah, so you've got In the Cauldron of Love and Love is a Wonderful Color. Two great tracks, great band. The whole album's good, but again, I'm only talking about Love today, folks, and it's those two songs again. Love is a Wonderful Color and In the Cauldron of Love. And there's some photos of the band on the back there. This is a really excellent album. If I haven't recommended already, I'm recommending it a third or fourth time, and it's the Icicle Works, self-titled. All right, like I said, we're going to keep the variety moving. It's the French songstress herself. It's Claudine Longet. There's my French accent coming back from my Canada days. So Claudine Longet, story goes, she did some modeling in Paris and then moved to Los Angeles when she was 19 or 20. Ended up hooking up with Andy Williams, and he was 14 or 15 years her senior. It was a little controversial, and they got married. And she used to appear on his variety television show, and then she did a few albums. They were divorced by, I believe, by the early 70s, but at the time this came out, they were still together. And this one, 1968. So kind of picture a French Marianne Faithfull, but her voice, Claudine's voice, is a lot more quirky. You know, it's like Twiggy there. What's her name that hung out with Tiny Tim? You know, a model that sings, right? I mean, sometimes it sounds good, sometimes not, but this is quirky and it's fun. Love is Blue was originally done by, I believe, Paul Moriarty and his orchestra. That's that orchestral pop stuff that I've talked about before. And of course, the title on this one, Love is Blue. But there is another version there's a version here of Gingy. It's spelled D-I-N-D-I, but it's pronounced Gingy. That's an Antonio Carlos Jobim tune. That's on a Frank Sinatra album, I believe, a couple of years after this came out in 68. I believe the Sinatra and Antonio Carlos Jobim album came out in 70, and Frank does a great version of Gingy on that one. Look that up. It's excellent, really great. Frank at his finest with Jobim. That's just a masterpiece, that album. But we're not talking about Frank. We're talking about Claudine. And Love is Blue right there. And it's the third track, L'amour est bleu, if you wanted to translate it en français. There it is. So Love is Blue, the beautiful Claudine Longet. All right. I showed this one in my Guilty Pleasures video. Not this one in particular, but Relax, 12-inch single. This is, of course, The Power of Love. And again, it's Frankie Goes to Hollywood. And this is another 12-inch single. This was kind of known as like their Christmas song. This, of course, was on Welcome to the Pleasure Dome, their big double album that came out in 1984. Yeah, The Power of Love is an excellent song. Christmas or any other time of year, it's just a really nice ballad. And of course, it has a total 80s vibe to it. And yeah, so see on the back here. Oh, they list this as the third. This must have been the third in a series of 12-inch singles. Again, from Welcome to the Pleasure Dome. You can see The Power of Love right here. And on the back, there's the band. Different shots of the band. There's Holly Johnson, the lead singer. Nothing on the inside here. They were on that ZDT label right there. I think Trevor Horn ran that show, if you know that name. And yeah, so it's Frankie Goes to Hollywood. And Love is the Light, Scaring Darkness Away. That's a lyric from The Power of Love, which is this. And it's another great love song. It's not a love song, but it's a song with the word love in it on this great list. All right. And we're keeping this variety going, folks. It's like a buffet. I'm telling you. It's Killing Joke, Brighter Than a Thousand Suns, released in 1986. There's Jaz Coleman, the lead singer, on the cover. They're still active today. Into their early 60s, kind of like the Cult. I think he's about the same age as Ian Astbury, 61, 62. And yeah, there's Geordie on the back, the guitarist right there. He always played this hollow Gibson guitar, really unique sound. Yeah, if you know Killing Joke, you know what I'm talking about. So the song on this one featuring Love, of course, it's Love of the Masses. So you can see right there. Of course, they were on EG, distributed by Virgin. There you go. So yeah, that's a really great tune. Again, Love of the Masses. So it opens, this album is definitely a switch up. If you know the earlier Killing Joke, like their debut and a couple of records that came after. Of course, like I said, this one came out in 86. This is very polished, but still not to be dismissed. After this, they kind of switched things up a couple of years later and did that album Millennium, and they almost went into Ministry territory, and that's where they kind of remained, but they still play their old stuff in concert, stuff like this too. But this has a synthesizer kind of vibe to it, but the guitars are still there. And again, on Love of the Masses, about a minute into the build-up, there's a wicked bass line kicks in. It's got a really good groove to it, and just listen to it and you'll find out for yourself. Again, it's a track on this called Love of the Masses, from Brighter Than a Thousand Suns, and the release on this one is 1986. There's just some more headshots of the other members of the band on the inside here. Of course, I bought this again. I would have purchased this when it came out. And again, there you can see on EG Virgin right there. And yeah, kicking off side 2, I believe, there's Love of the Masses right there. Great track, look that up. Look up any of these tracks, folks. I wouldn't be recommending them, and they wouldn't be on this list if they weren't worthy of your ears. And that's Killing Joke, Brighter Than a Thousand Suns, Love of the Masses. All right, I sound like an infomercial. I repeat myself so many times, but save you the trouble of rewinding this video so you'll know these songs. All right, Soul Master himself right here. It's Isaac Hayes. Release date on this one's 1970. I believe this was his second or third. I think maybe his second. But he was a session player for the Stax record label, I believe out of Memphis, for all through the 1960s. Piano, multi-instrumentalist, and an arranger too, in the tradition of a Burt Bacharach. And he almost has a jazz vibe as well as when he gets heavy into the R&B. But this is just great. On this one, he actually does a cover of the Burt Bacharach composition, The Look of Love. And that's what I'm talking about in this list of love. It's The Look of Love right there, coming in at 11:11 even. Just a really, really great arrangement. It feels loungy like Burt Bacharach, but then his voice kicks in, and it's just really killer. And the music itself, the arrangement, it's just amazing. He's such a talented guy. Still with us too. So yeah, this was on some label called Enterprise. And again, I call him Soul King. Don't know what his nickname is in the music world. I've got a bunch of Isaac Hayes. I really dig it. And this, of course, the name of this album is called To Be Continued. You got to put the puzzle together here, right? It's a puzzle of love, people. And again, the track on this one you want to look up. It's The Look of Love. All right, we're getting near the end here. Now we're going to some blues, all right? So it's John Hammond. I call him John Hammond Jr. His father was John Hammond Sr., big shot at Capitol Records, and of course known for signing Bob Dylan and Bruce Springsteen were the two big acts he was known for signing. And of course, John Hammond Jr., as I call him, was electric guitar, electric blues in the traditional Chicago blues style. And the song I'm talking about on here, it's, I believe it's a Willie Dixon cover. It's called "I Live the Life I Live the Life That I Love." All right, I live the life I love, right there. And there's a young John Hammond right there, handsome devil. And there he is on his motorcycle right there. It looks like the Chicago skyline behind him right there. And again, the release date on this one, 1964. I Live the Life I Love, from Big City Blues. And this is all traditional blues covers on this one. He does a great version of Backdoor Man on this. Midnight Hour Blues is great. Baby Won't You Tell Me. And this, of course, was on the it's on the Vanguard label. I don't know if there's anything on the inside. It's probably just a promo sheet. Looks like I actually replaced the inner sleeve on this one. Of course, there's the cool Vanguard logo on this one. So yeah, I live the life I love. What's wrong with that, right? If we could all be so lucky, and I am lucky like that, I do live the life I love. Just like John Hammond. All right. You're really at the end here, and we're getting into a little heavy metal territory. Hard rock and roll, whatever you want to call it. It's the Scorpions. Great band live if you ever get a chance. Well, Klaus Meine's still kicking it. He's in his 70s, but they're still doing it. And this is Savage Amusement. This one came out in 1988. I believe this one actually has two songs it's got 3 songs with love in the name on here. You've got Rhythm of Love. You've got Love on the Run. That's a real rocker. It's real fast, good tempo on that one. And Believe in Love. So you got 3 on here. Again, Rhythm of Love, Love on the Run, and Believe in Love. There's Klaus Meine down in front right there. And of course, Francis Buchholz, Rudolf Schenker on there, and Matthias Jabs, Herman Ravel. That's the original lineup the lineup at the time. Uli John Roth had long left them at this point. Yeah, so it's the Scorpions, Savage Amusement, and 3 songs with the word love in it. Again, Love on the Run, Believe in Love, and the Rhythm of Love. Rhythm of Love was a huge hit on this, and there's a video for that one. You can look that up. And freaky cover here with the hot chick with the scorpion's tail. Watch out, she's going to sting you. It's the Scorpions. 3 songs with love in the title on Savage Amusement. Great album. All right. And this is going to be a baker's dozen, like I said. So we're here kicking in here at number 12. And it's the late, great Sonny Bono and Cher, otherwise known as Sonny and Cher. And this is a best of. I could have shown this in my greatest hits, but I just had so many to show on that one. So here we are. And the track on here I'm talking about, What Now My Love. Great song, great song. They both sing, that's a duet. The 2 of them on this one. Of course, there's lots of photos of Sonny and Cher right there. Of course, much younger at this point. I think this compilation's 1967, the release on this one, of course, on Atco. Let's see here. Yeah, just a promo for all the other artists on the Atco label. I do like when I pick up these used albums and these are in good shape. I do like to look at the promos and all the other stuff. And there's the cool Atco label there, the purple and beige, yellow, and whatever you want to call it. But yeah, and again, track 2 there, What Now My Love. Yeah, Cher, great voice, terrific. With Sonny, of course. All right, number 13. We're back to the 80s, rounding this out with a 12-inch single. This is Simple Minds. This is the release date on this one's 1981, featuring the great Jim Kerr, of course, on lead vocals, and it's called Love Song. Forget the name of the full-length album this was pulled from, but I've got a bunch of these Simple Minds 12-inch singles. I was a huge fan of them when I was in high school in the early mid-80s. Just loved them until they commercialed out later on, but right here, around here, boy, they were really doing things right. And there's a B-side here that's an instrumental, This Earth That You Walk Upon. They would always put an instrumental track on the B-side of their 12-inch singles, and they're all good. I always said if they could put a compilation, Virgin would, of all those instrumentals that Simple Mind did, I'd definitely be first in line to buy it. And there you can see, sorry for that light, and that's Simple Mind's Love Song, and that's a 12-inch single. So again, if you're feeling so inspired, all you vinyl community people, it is Valentine's month, whether you're with somebody or not. I know Valentine's Day is just a marketing ploy to sell greeting cards and flowers. But I know everybody out there in the vinyl community, excuse me, loves music. So surely you could put together a list of 13 albums, singles, whatever you want to do. Like I showed a couple 12-inch singles today. It doesn't matter as long as the word love is in the title. And let's keep that love train moving, like as you call it in the vinyl community, the VCLT. It's a vinyl community love train. So spread the love, people. Make a video, jump on this, have some fun with it. And anyway, with that, I'll say my goodbyes. And yeah, I got to do a video for Ben Rankins. Has a cool thread going around that 1 minute, one artist, one thing. I'm gonna hop on that too this weekend. Maybe do some other stuff too. You never know with me. I'm not going outside a lot this weekend, so with this weather around here, so I'll probably be making a couple more videos. Anyway, have some fun with this, folks, and I'll see you next time.